What's up, everybody? Welcome back to 3 p.m. I would like to start off a quote from Theodore Roosevelt that goes something like this. Comparison is the thief of joy. The reason why I would like to start off with that, because I believe a lot of people are living their life comparing their life to what they see on the internet, on YouTube, social media. And it's a reason for a lot of, in my opinion, mental illness that we're seeing, or depression, anxiety, all these things. And it's leading to a worse future, in my opinion, humble opinion. But I guess we'll get right into it, because it's not fancy like Lex Friedman, but that's who inspired the intro. You might or might not have seen, because mostly new people see the videos. Well, some of my subscribers, but not a lot of my subscribers have seen the short, and probably my last video, where I mentioned something about Ben Shapiro and how something about him makes me want to punch him in the face. And I said he just has a punchable face. Because, in my opinion, he does. And it's not like I have anything against the guy, but we grew up probably totally different. So I don't think he would be my friend. I don't think I'm somebody he would give the time of the day. And I don't think he would be my friend. And I wouldn't try to, there's a part of certain classes of people, I guess, citizens, where you kind of have to fake it till you make it, or you feel like you're obligated to dress like they dress, like that guy that asked Zelensky, when do you wear a suit? It's like, if I have to wear a suit and have a nice watch and nice clothes just to have the time of day to speak to you or possibly be your friend, I don't want to be your friend, And I believe in order for me, coming from where I came from, to be friends with somebody like Ben Shapiro, I would have to, dress like he dresses, talk like he talks. I would have to have, money and pretty much the same opinions. God forbid you go against it. I think people like Andrew Tate has learned that if you go against that narrative, that side's narrative, for the most part, Republicans, they go against you, because he spoke up for Palestinians and the people in Palestine, I mean. And I just it's not that I'm sided with Andrew Tate, although I do like Andrew Tate more than Ben Shapiro. I don't want to punch Andrew Tate in the face, but he's to me, he's just funny, and some of the stuff he says is motivating and helpful, and not everything he says I agree with, and a lot of it he sounds like he's making up for something, or he's insecure about something. But both these guys are successful, quote unquote, in their own rights, in their own ways, in their own minds, for their own different things. And I don't think either of them are sitting there comparing each other's lives to each other. And I'm not sitting here comparing my life to Ben or Andrew Tate's. I don't give a dang about their life at all. That's their life. Like, it's not for me, one side or the other. At least I could say with Andrew, he speaks his mind no matter what. He's gonna say stuff that not everybody agrees with, and he doesn't have to worry about having to fit into a side. And I don't care about fitting into one side or the other. I had people calling me liberal because I said I Ben Shapiro had a punchable face and telling me to get out of my mom's basement. And I'm not a liberal. I don't consider myself a liberal or anything. And I don't live in my mom's basement. I don't live with my mom. Yeah. I pay bills. I, own the home with my wife, my fiance, excuse me. Not quite wife yet, but we've been together over a decade. And we have kids, and we pay our bills, and we, take care of things. And we try to be as happy as we could be. Now, with bills and inflation, that gets stressful. And, we've had our hard times. I'm not perfect. We've had fights over things caused by stress. But who hasn't, And we've worked through a lot of things over the decade, a lot of insecurities, a lot of, different issues. And, we're still growing. But one thing I tried never to do is compare our life to others, because they're living their life and we're living our life. It's easier said than done sometimes, and sometimes if you're scrolling on TikTok, it might get easy to just get sucked into that stuff, and you might not even realize that subconsciously you might be comparing your life to others. So I'm trying to be very aware of that too. Yeah. Is there a part of me that might like to be well known and successful in that, right? Whether we're talking about either one of the two men I mentioned, sure. I'm sure there's a part of everybody that kind of wants to be seen and, have money where they don't have to worry about these things. But what I don't envy is the weight that's on their shoulders, the inability to speak freely and speak their real thoughts if they're on one side or the other, or have nobody on your side. But I guess if I was gonna have nobody on my side, I would rather be rich like Andrew Tate than be broke and not have a side, which that's where I find myself in. But I'm not comparing my life to anybody at all, because it's the thief of joy, like I said, and the grass isn't always greener on the other side, and who knows what kind of things Ben is going through, and who knows what Andrew's going through. And the fact that I have nothing against either of these men really makes me feel some type of, I feel bad for Tate's situation sometimes. And sometimes it seems like maybe he's just been a useful pawn for the right side. And sometimes it seems like he's making up for something, like he's insecure. Why does he have to be so loud? But, there's nothing, it's nothing against him. And, I also feel bad for just posting about Ben and saying I wanted to punch him in the face because he has a punchable face. It's like, I don't have nothing against them, and it's like that's not me. That's not what I should be worried about. I shouldn't be focused on that. Perhaps that's society stuff, societal pressures, as they say. Getting me to try to say something that people are gonna like. I don't know. I mean, there is a part of me that thinks he has a punchable face, and I think if he actually saw me, he probably wouldn't give me the time of day unless, I had a fancy suit and money and could have somehow impressed them or whatever. And it's like, that's not the type of person I would want to try to impress, or even, there's nobody I would want to even impress, but especially that way or whatever, through money. So it's like, that's totally my opinion, and it could be totally false. He could, who knows? I don't know. But that's just the impression I get off him, and people like him. And, the fact that I think that he would think he's better than me is the reason why I don't like him. It's like, I don't think I'm better than him. I think there's probably stuff he's better than me at, and there's probably a few things that I'm better than him at, which is hard to believe, probably for most people that just follow him blindly. But I know there's stuff that I've been through that he hasn't. It doesn't make me a better person. Just like the fact that he has money and a following doesn't make him a better person. But it doesn't give me the right to go after him. And so I'm sorry to, not him, but his followers for getting so butthurt. I'm not a liberal, and I'm not in my mom's basement. And that's kind of what's wrong with America. The fact that you have to pick a side, or if you say something that sounds like a talking point from the other side, I guess you're labeled that, and it's terrible. And and if you don't pick a side, then people call you a fence sitter. I like balance, like my shirt says. Got a stain right there, but I like balance. Everything works well with balance. A balance of humility, a balance, and this is coming from a broke person. Yeah, some of y'all are saying, because I had one person comment, that's why you're broke, and I know you don't understand, and that's why you won't have money. It's like, yeah, as if money is everything, as if fame is everything. But I don't, even if I had $1 million, I would still wear this shirt. Even if I had $1 billion, I would still wear this shirt. I would still wear my clothes, because I don't care about that. But that's not saying I wouldn't have nice clothes now, but it doesn't. The clothes don't make the man. It's like, there's a quote from Cool Runnings, and might just add it in, but if I don't, the quote goes, if you're never enough with it, if you're never enough without it, you'll never be enough with it. And I've always tried to use that quote or apply that quote to my life, and think about that whenever I do start to feel like I need something to impress, or something to be a man or whatever, be successful, to start thinking about money too much, or whatever, fame too much, or views. At this point, it's not even fame, it's views or likes or comments. I think we all fall victim to it, whether you're trying to do social media or you just post on social media on your profiles. We all fall victim to that little dopamine rush that we get when we get a few likes. And I've had Facebook posts that have gotten 30,000 views, or 30,000 reactions or more, and a bunch of shares, over 30,000 shares. And that's quite extreme when you get quite a rush. But then when the views are down, you get you get down with it. And I don't even know where I was going with all this before I started talking about my shirt, but I might just hit it back. Yes, I had to go back, but I was talking about balance, and I feel like balance makes the world right. And like I said, it's coming from a broke person or whatever, but it's like you need the right balance of humility, you need the right balance of strength, and also a bit of a fear. You can't just rush into situations with no fear, just on your brute strength. You need a balance of instinct, but also willingness to dive head first. Regardless if you might get hurt sometimes, you need that willpower to power through. You need sometimes, a balance of sadness. You can't just be serious all the time with no emotion. You can't be happy all the time with and not worried about anything, even though that would be nice. That'd be ideal. That's what most people are going after, I believe, and that's why we have situations that we do now, because you're not supposed to feel happy all the time. You're not supposed to be getting dopamine rushes all the time. You're supposed to go through certain stuff. That's life, and that's all right. That's what molds you, and that's what makes your character, and I guess that's what I was lacking. I've gone through a lot of things, but I wouldn't say they were necessarily challenging things, and never was challenged. My intelligence was never really challenged. It definitely was there and could have been cultivated better, and but the past is a past. I can't regret it now. All I could do is try to use the information I have on hand to make the best choices for my future, and I fall short of that all the time. I'm not perfect, and I say that. At least I admit it. But the fact that I admit it doesn't make it right. And so, there might be some people out there admitting to their faults and thinking, oh, at least I admit to them. And it's not enough. It's not enough. I was thinking the other day, because I want to get healthy, and I want to start reading more, and I want to, get more intelligent and learn and grow and experience life. But I'm not making the steps all the time, every day. I'm not chasing it after it like David Goggins. Like he tells the story of, I can't tell it like he does, but he tells the story of wanting to become, a Navy SEAL, and what he went through, what he put himself through. It's like people won't give a tenth of that to try to become what they want to become. It's you, including myself. And perhaps it would be easier if I knew what I wanted to become, because I don't necessarily know what I would want to do. I like interesting people. I like learning about people. I like talking about people's life. I like helping people where I can. I can't do much from the position I'm at, but if I had a chance, I would like to think I would do good with it. But it has to start with me, just like it has to start with you. And it doesn't start with focusing all your energy on somebody you love on social media or somebody you're hating on, like me talking crap about Ben Askren. That's somebody else who got knocked out. Ben Sharpie. I mean, that was not nice. Ben Shapiro. But anyways, I had to slip in that Sharpie because his eyebrows do look like he needs some tweezers. I'm not even trying to be mean, but you got all that money. I don't know, perhaps he likes it, but he looks like the guy off Mr. Deeds, if you've seen that movie. And she told him to get some tweezers too. But anyways, I can't spend all my time on Ben Shapiro and talking about him. But, it's like, I'm not extreme here. It's like, I'm not trying to walk up to him and punch him in the face. But anyways, yeah, you gotta focus on your life. And I realized maybe because I'm struggling to find out what is it you want to do. It's like, I don't know exactly what I want to do, but I know what I don't want to do, and that's a start. And I know what I don't want to be, and that's a start. And I know that I could just start trying. It's like I've been waiting for a goal to start going. It's like, I mean, I have started with these videos and stuff like that, but it's not enough because, I haven't started running and working out and really investing all my time and energy into certain things. And I'm torn between, dreams and hopes or, and life and raising kids and not trying to put too much time into this. And that has been a problem. I'm kind of airing all my laundry out here, but that's okay. because this is one thing that people won't do on social media. They try to hide the real stuff, and who knows what's going on behind the scenes. But yeah, it's been a problem with me spending time making videos sometimes. You know, not all of them were worth it, in my opinion. But if they helped one person, then it's worth it to me. But that is time that's took away from my family, and which would be all right. Andrew Tate was talking about this, which people probably hate that I'm bringing him up, but he was talking about, he argued that if you spend more quality time with your kid, then it means more than quantity of time. So I'm trying to work on spending quality time with my family instead of quantity, because just being there isn't enough. It isn't enough. And I think people like to think, or they have this idea, I think, like if they raise a kid and they survive and they're healthy, you know, and they make it through school, then they won. It's like, no, there's a lot more to that you could be, you know, speaking for myself too, that we could be helping the kids along. And I try with also trying to focus on life and my dreams and my, you know, which get put on the side most of the time for the family, which is all right. You know, I've made that choice. I'm willing to make that sacrifice for the kids, because once you have kids, it's their life now. You know, your life is their life. And any parent, you know, but certain times you see parents that they leave their kid. We had a few situations recently where kids were living in squalor, or whatever they call it, trash, complete trash, and the parents are out partying. At that point, give your kids away. But yeah, I'm trying to spend more quality time than just quantity, because, you know, like I said, I'm not the best at it, but I try, and I'm, you know, being honest here, and people will find, you know, something to pick apart always in what you say, and I'm trying to not worry about that and just really be myself, you know, because I don't want to come on here and pretend to be anybody, pretend to be somebody I'm not. I'm not perfect. I say it all the time. Don't expect me to be perfect, and I don't expect anybody else to be perfect. And I think I was, anyways. So yeah, you know, nobody's perfect. Not me, not Andrew Tate, not Ben Shapiro, not anybody else. Whether they have lots of money or not, you know, or whether they're disciplined, because it's like being disciplined doesn't necessarily mean you're better. You know, people are raised different, and when you get caught up in routines and you've been doing certain things all your life, it's hard to change. It can be done, and there's evidence of it, and it can happen at any age. So I refuse to tell myself that it's not possible for me to reach whatever I want to reach if I put in the work. But sometimes I think that's not even important, and what's more important is the quality time that I spend with my family. And if I feel necessary to, I don't know what that is, but if I feel it's necessary to come on here and talk about some things, then I'll bring it up, and I'll make that sacrifice and talk about it, because if it helps people, that's why I do it. But yeah, telling people that Ben Shapiro has a punchable face doesn't help people, and that's why, you know, I had my own regrets about it, but it was nothing because he doesn't have a punchable face. And people were saying I have a punchable face. I think it was just the angle. I don't have the best teeth, but at least I don't have the teeth that every influencer has. They all have the fake teeth, the veneers, or whatever they're called. Everybody, and even everybody that gets famous ends up getting those teeth. Kyle from the Nelk Boys, probably Theo Vaughn, just whatever. I'm sure you keep naming them, but I don't know. I was talking to a coworker today, and I think that we get wrapped up in these influencers because we don't have, enough interest in our own life. And if we had more interest in our own life, people wouldn't care about these. Like, because they don't have interest in their own life or hobbies or goals or dreams, that's why they pick on, or not pick on them. That's why they, well, sometimes that's why they pick on people and leave negative comments and all that stuff. But also, that's why they look up to people and they spend so much time putting their energy and happiness, getting their dopamine from influencers or their news or their opinions on political matters or any matters from influencers instead of just living their life. And I wish YouTubers were never influencers, and because there should be like influencers and entertainers, and most YouTubers that try to be influencers are actually entertainers first and foremost. So it's like, stop trying to influence and just entertain, especially when it comes to kids. Stop trying to influence and just entertain. It's like, nobody needs you to influence. You're just here to entertain. But I think everybody wants influence nowadays, and everybody wants to influence. And it's not always for the good. Or they might think it's good, but it's actually for the bad, or vice versa. And everything's a tricky situation in my opinion. But you gotta watch what you're doing, and I guess it helps to know what you want. If you know what you want, you know what you want. But it's like common sense. It's such a generic base sentence right there. But I guess that means maybe I'm running out of stuff to say. I just wanted to come on here and clear the air about that Ben Shapiro stuff, because I didn't really like it myself, and thought about deleting the short, but I'm like, I'm not deleting it. It's like, I meant what I said. It's not worth it to me, and once I'm done talking about this, I won't bring him up. I mean, it doesn't matter. He's living his life, not worried about me. The fact that I even put as much time as effort into this as I have kind of disgusts me. But wanted to clear the air for whoever, even just to have it out there. But also wanted to talk about, comparing your life to others, because it's no good especially for kids. And we know that. We're learning that as a society, but then again, I don't know. It's going the wrong directions in certain situations. And it's a dangerous road we're going down, I think. And we got to be careful. Yeah. So with that, I think I'm going to end it. But I guess be careful where you give your energy. You put your energy. And if you want something, you could think about it all the time, but you got to be putting your energy. You got to be moving. You got to be moving towards that goal. You got to be taking action. Actions definitely speak louder than words. And here I am talking a whole lot, but not so much action when it comes down to it. But I try every day. I try every day to do more. And I realized the other day, I've been holding myself back because I don't have a goal, and I don't need a goal to get healthy. Like, yeah, that is a goal in itself, but I don't need, I didn't put it as a priority. And it's like, if you truly want to be healthy or whatever it is, you got to put that as a priority. You got to put it as a priority, like you like sleep. You got to, like you like video games or whatever. Name something you love. If you want to accomplish something, that's the amount of effort and energy you got to put into it. And don't compare yourself. Don't compare yourself to others. Like Jordan Peterson says, you know, don't compare yourself to who somebody is today. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday. And there's a quote from the Count of Monte Cristo that I like a lot, and he says there's neither like happiness nor sadness in the world. There's only the comparison of one state with another, and something like that. And I believe that is true. Of course, there's sad moments. You know, there's going to be depressed moments, but a lot of our negativity and our depressed moments, I would say, not depression, but depressed moments and anxiety comes from comparing one state with another. And I think if we tried to just live in the moment more and appreciate life as it comes and stop that comparing to even yesterday or that last, dopamine rush you had, I think we'd be a lot better off. And what do I know? You know, I'm just talking from my mom's basement here, but maybe one day I'll get out. Who knows, you know? But I quite like it here, so perhaps I'll stay. Yeah, it's a crazy world out there, so I always say, you know, stay safe and take care of yourself. Until next time.